Everyone would go crazy when she showed up. We're joined now by attorney Evan Bolick. And you think the presence of this juror, number 5, coming back, could actually be grounds for dismissal?
I find it really hard to believe it would be grounds for dismissal, but you know, she's really tempting fate by coming back and being a part of the trial after being dismissed.
And if you've been kicked off a jury, how does she even get back in the room? I mean, if she's a distraction, if she's polluting the jury pool, how is she able to come back in there?
Well, she's not allowed to talk to the rest of the jurors, and the judge today admonished the remaining jurors not to talk to her. But, you know, courts are public venues, so anyone can come in for it.
But if there are grounds enough to kick her off the jury, wouldn't that be grounds enough to keep her out? I'm not talking about, you know, any Tom, Dick, or Harry going in. I'm talking about someone who obviously had a history of disrupting the jury.
Sure, unfortunately, it's just not a grounds for her being excluded from the courtroom. But as I said, she's tempting her own fate by being there, and it would be really sad if on appeal, an appeals court judge takes note of her and says, what was that about?
What happens if there is a mistrial?
Well, if there is a mistrial, then the prosecution will have the option of filing new charges, assuming that the judge allows them to.
And meanwhile, the tab for the people of Arizona just keeps growing.
It will be skyrocketing astronomically.
We're at 1-point-something million now. By
Yes.
the time this is all done and the appeals process plays out, what do you think we could be looking at?
I wouldn't even put it past an $8 or $9 million tab, because especially if she gets the death penalty, then she gets to appeal all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court on the Arizona taxpayer dime.
And quickly, if we're scoring this as a boxing match and we're in the 12th and final round, who's ahead?
Let me tell you, that defensive team is dizzy and on the ropes, in my opinion, on this story here. So I would expect the KO from the prosecution.
All right, Evan Bolick, good to see you. Good stuff.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for coming in tonight. As always.